Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Rumble is going, Twitch is going, YouTube is going, and looks like Twitter is going. Okay, time to activate the chat windows. Chat windows activated. And let's go ahead and actually find a replay now. Let's see, hopefully this is the right person. Nope. Yes, hidden. On to the next player. Hidden as well. And hidden. Here we go. Got replays to peruse through. 15 minutes too short. I'm trying to eye a minimum of 25 minutes. 45 minutes. Something I want to check as well before I actually get started. Do we see any patch notes? Nope. Usually by now there's probably some sort of patch releasing nerfing the new factions. And it looks like, oops, sorry, hit my microphone pretty hard right there. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the right side is the Yellow Knights Templar, got L, Louis, MT. Spawn on the left side is the Blue French, we got Vortex. And we got a villager charging way forward. He's going to go for a, I see wood being collected, looks like he's going to go for a barracks opener. Wait. A dock opener. He did delete one shore fish. But there is a decent number of shore fish there. I wonder if oh wait, you can get always garrison inside the dock. You can, that's how you get around the dock, by going not around it, but through it. But we do have a docks opener. That I was not expecting. That's Templar. If he's aggressive, he can probably capitalize and punish us pretty hard severely. Lots of useful age up paths for the Knights Templar. Well, anything will do. Anything with torches. Even scouts can easily punish this. Got another sheep there. He is aging up to the Kingdom of France, which give a gold discount for all units and make all units train a little bit faster. It will also unlock the Chevalier, a heavy cavalry that's more closer to sofas. A lighter heavy cavalry, but it is still classified as heavy, which means it does receive bonus damage from crossbowmen. Yellow is trying to herd the deer towards the town center, but looks like overall he's herding towards the mining pit. I think he's just trying to get them now just to a pile. Herd them to a pile. That one let's scout a little bit far. And I think that's pretty good. Oh, no, that one went pretty bad. He could probably put the mill here or here. Can't say exactly what would be best. Got the school of cavalry down being blown out by the French. And scaring some more of the deer. We do have now some spearmen putting full on field, and they're immediately going to be torching down this dock. Bro, shipyard. Wait, what? Did the French always had a unique dock effect? I never knew. That's not how little I know. I've seen docks by the French. I never knew the French get plus 10 population from docks. Okay, that makes it far more tolerable than expected. I don't remember this whatsoever. And maybe there's not a sort of visible thing here beforehand. Oh, that's me forgetting something. But then again, a lot of people don't like water. Got an aeroship here. Aeroships are very, very good versus ground units. Of course, he did pull on this side of the dock, which means he can't push the airship up over here. However, there's only one shorefish. Should be safe enough. Don't think anything go up the waterfalls. If there's anything they could do, maybe they can increase the movement speed of the waterfall effect. It's too slow. Gravity is fast. Local doggo demands head pats. Or the stick that he's carrying. Those are trying to shank the spearman there. He does not have textiles research just yet. I think, yep, we got professional scouts now in the build queue for blue, so he will be on to pick up some of that delicious venison on the map. Yo does find delicious sheeple. Good number of spearmen there. Dock is not getting repaired on up. Gone for 5 fishing boats. I do not know what will be an adequate number of fishing boats, but I think 5 maybe a little bit too much. I could be mistaken though. And it is quite a bit of investment. Each shorefish does provide 500 food. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it was a 4th one. 5. It's a decent amount of food, but yep. Oh yeah, they nerfed professional scouts, so now scouts a bit more slowly. Rather than galloping back, they just not even trot back. They just walk back there with the delicious cargo. Have I seen professionals? Oh, there goes the scout. Have I seen professional scouts research since the expansion? I can't remember. Sheep also gets impaled. I also believe that the scouts should pick up sheep carcasses, but I don't think they can. You can see here. I must have yellow selected. We do not have the Chevalier Confrere, or however you pronounce that. Full on the field, 2/2 armor, 160 health. Regular heavy cavalry horseman speed, 14 melee damage, and of course 21 lance. Royal Knight is far superior to that Chevalier, but of course there's a good number of spearmans ready to impale the Royal Knight. And due to the lower armor rating of the Chevalier, means archers can be decent and putting some rounds putting some holes into it. There we go. Oh, looks like he did an automatic Q order. The aeroship needs to move out of the way. Q up over there. There we go. Do now have the wheelbarrow and +1 range damage now queued on up. He does have the, of course, the free +1 melee damage. Oh, and there's a pilgrim. I wonder if this airship will provide coverage against pilgrims. I don't know. Got a good number of spearmen deployed on the field. The French players, of course, going a good number of archers, while the Knights Templar is going for a good number of the Chevaliers. I think blue should mix in some spearmen. After all, spearmen will be equal to the spearmen and be very effective for the Chevaliers. They will be a safe option to deploy on in at the moment. You don't need to get too many, just a small number. It also gives your archers more breathing room and allows your Royal Knights to have, of course, more maneuver around area to maneuver since the spearmen engage the spearmen. Of course, barracks at this point in time are relatively expensive. Has some of the venison been picked on up? Maybe. Chevalier being pursued by these Royal Knights. I think only one Royal Knight is needed to chase it. Royal Knight does get picked off there. And the deer deposit back here has been cleaned on up by the professional scouts. More venison being obtained. We do now have the Chevaliers being pursued by a single Royal Knight. Scout almost goes down. I don't know how many... What was that pathing? Sorry, I don't know how many Chevaliers is needed to take on a Royal Knight. And especially when they're in wounded state. Only one Pilgrim's on the field at the moment. This Chevalier has taken some damage. Local Doggo demands head pats. More spearmen being pulled in the field, going for the Chevaliers and Spearmen. I think Yellow has plenty of army to defend with. Spearmen could just generally move forward while the Chevaliers try to maneuver to engage his archers. There is a good number of Chevaliers. I think he should be able to deal with the Royal Knights as well. Chevaliers getting some great damage on in. Great stutter step forward. Most of the Royal Knights are going down. No Spearmen to cover the retreat of the Royal Knights. An overall pretty massive win there by Yellow. You do have some Chevaliers and Spearmen engaged with villagers. Does lose a Chevalier. Royal Knights get picked off there. Chevaliers are getting quite wounded. Of course, I don't think he has access to any healing this age. But he could either just pull back the severely wounded ones, keep them to the next age until a monk can heal them up. But that would be quite a bit of momentum lost. But they don't necessarily provide massive momentum anymore. We do have a barracks now being deployed on the field. More Pilgrims advancing. $116 gold there. Level 2 Pilgrims was queued up and cancelled. Not like he's aging up anytime soon. Scout is down. We've got venison up here, but looks like Yellow's actually actively claiming the venison. Scout does go down there. Good number of Chevaliers now push way forward. There's still a very good number of wounded ones there. We do now have the Guild Hall being established and the Aghanim Empire. Aghanim Empire gives heavy spearmen, right? Also, I wanted to take a look what it provides. Fortress and docks at plus 30% health. Nothing too significant, honestly. Fortresses like castles and keeps tend to be either alive or dead, never really in between, but does occasionally be useful. Got a number of spearmen transported for blue, but I don't think blue's army is enough at the moment. Though yellow's army is quite wounded. Native Empire now pull on the field. I'm pretty sure that's a heavy spearman. Yes, it is heavy spearman. He's also going for veteran spearman. Only has 9 on the field. Chevaliers get a good volley there, or good charge attack there. French archers now advancing. Both players advance the next age. Knights backing off. Chevaliers advancing. Got the town center here. Villagers turning up the hill. This gold deposit has 13 gold remaining. Chevaliers have now received their veterancy upgrade, so it gets +1/+1 armor, so they'll have 3/3, or in this case 3/4. Villagers heading up that gold deposit because this one is tapped. You can send one villager to collect the last little bit of pebbles. Royal Knights do take a little bit of damage there. Try to charge into the villagers unsuccessfully. Chevaliers getting some free damage. And looks like the fishing boats are down to the last fish deposit. Aeroship course does right now have 7 damage. Aeroships are benefited from the arrow upgrade, which actually is very important there. This actually makes aeroships incredibly powerful in Age 2 and decently useful as well in so Age 3. Villager does get impaled there. We got a lot of right clicks being summoned because you hear the repeated sound effect sound. Seven villagers there. Down south, we do have the spearman trying to make another swipe there. Blue does have picking up the relics. This map is called Relic River, so there's relics in the middle of the map. Blue has picked up 1. Yellow has not picked up any. Chevaliers advancing. We do have a good number of heavy spearmen pulled on the field. I think heavy spearmen are incredibly powerful for what they do. Though right now, with the heavy spearmen, the heavy cavalry, Arbaletier is probably particularly useful for the French at the moment. He is going for more archers. Heavy spearmen also do have the same armor rating as man-at-arms, so they are very arrow resilient in this age. Scout is down, not big surprise. These Royal Knights need to fall back. There's currently 8 Royal Knights in the field, and I see all 8 in front of me. Spearmen heading up north. Good number of archers and spearmen engaging. Of course, archers will have trouble punching through the armor, but it's a little bit easier since they have 1 less armor. They do have a little bit of a horde health benefit. These 17 units, every nearby Chevalier provides each other +1 maximum health. Nothing too significant, but in this case it would allow him to resist, what, 4 more arrows, potentially? And also probably another crossbow bolt as well, maybe 2. It all depends how the health is divvied up. Chevaliers do take a pretty good arrow volley, does lose 1 of them. Knights or the Chevaliers heading up north. Mill now being built. We do have now the monk going on down. And that villager goes down as well. He does only have help. There's a couple more villagers over there. Blue has some Royal Knights in the back line. Good number of heavy spearmen, regular spearmen, and chevaliers. There, Mangonel pulling the field, very nice. Which he knows is one big counter right now he has to his composition is Arbaletiers. And so Mangonel will help engage with against that counter, but he is not deployed that counter out on the field. But Blue now sees the heavy spearmen. Now he knows the necessity of Arbaletiers. Yellow's now establishing a fortress on the field on this side of the river, which, if possible, squeezing out this side of the river could be a little bit better, but it's probably pretty easy to use trebuchets from this low ground. Right now, trebuchets may be range at the edge. Hard for me to tell. Actuality, in order to prevent the trebuchets from besieging, he's trying to get the gold spots secure, but I think he should have put it more up here. Mangonels rolls a miss there. Blue's villagers migrating up north of the stone deposit. That's not a good thing at this moment. Royal Knights engages the various units. Takes out a monk, takes out a villager. Second villager go down. Heavy spearmen now retaliating. And Mangonel does get a bit of damage there. Trying to go for wall there. Takes the spring gold. He probably won't get the Mangonel. As those villagers do back on off, they're heading down to a wood deposit. Some spearmen's here, they're right now being just home wreckers. Another fortress up here. Passing the pilgrims up here would generate more gold, and you don't really care about obstruction of the map because these pilgrims get spawned every 60 seconds. That's why I always say I don't care how far the distance or how if they reach the end destination every 6 seconds, he gets like 120 gold per pilgrim. Personally, I don't really like the fact that pilgrims come like in these onesie twosies. If I were to change pilgrims a little bit, I think pilgrims also need a little bit of a nerf. It appears to be very powerful overall. It's effectively this one's what, 4 additional villagers? Each number of pilgrims right now is equivalent to 4 villagers. If I were to change the pilgrims a little bit, I would probably reduce. I also don't like the fact that it goes in 1s and 2s, more than that fact. I would reduce the pilgrim's health down to 25 health. Reduce the effect gold dropped off by reduce it by 75%, and rather than spawning in 1s, they spawn in groups of 3. So it's like actual pilgrimage of a group of people for you to kill off. And also make sure that they also have pilgrims are affected by textiles. That way, overall, the total health will increase compared to what it is right now, but also makes it so the total value received is decreased. That's how I would adjust them. But right now we do have level 2 pilgrims being researched, so soon you have 4 pilgrims every 60 seconds, which is effectively 16 villagers on gold of infinite supply, assuming you can maintain field control. And since it's free and the constant respawning, it's not like, say, the Mongols' Silver Tree. You don't have to babysit it as much. Arrow ship gains some decent damage there at 8 damage with a burst of 5 arrows. So able to punch through even the higher armor. This fortress here is in a good position, covers the sacred site there. And looks like it's already gotten the increased gold income as well. This one, it looks like the aura effect is affecting the pilgrims, so should be able to reach out there. Very nice. Doc taking some damage now. Fortress now being built, another one. Against Templar, you can't really be passive. You have to be aggressive and deny those pilgrims. That's the primary economic advantage. They also do have improved lumberjacks. Greatly improved lumberjacks. But the long-term value is, of course, the pilgrims. Villagers can hit pretty hard there. We do have the red palace deployed in the field, so the Arbalists are ripping apart these wooden Chevaliers. And all those Chevaliers goes down to the Arbalists emplacement. We decapturing the southern sacred site, but need to start threatening the other ones. The red palace is right here, so this will lock down this advance. Now the Kingdom Poland. I don't think I've seen Kingdom Poland aged up yet. All cavalry gets plus 10% health and 50% charge damage. So I'm wondering what special cavalry Poland will provide, because I'm assuming it's providing some sort of form of cavalry. I'm mostly seeing Venetians, and really just Venetians, haven't we? Got another fortress being established there, so he'll be soon up to 6 pilgrims. Six pilgrims, of course, will get him 24 villager on gold income. Though he does also have the improved drop-off as well, so increase the drop-off by 20%, so it's probably getting closer to 30 at this moment in time. Trebuchet emplacements can easily siege down this keep as well. Kingdom of Poland. What cavalry are you able to summon? We do have the Slocha Cavalry. I butchered that name well enough. Expensive cavalry, 180, 114. Remember, that's cost reduction for the French. Slow attack speed when attacking. Heavy armor, strong versus light infantry. Countered by spearmen and crossbowmen. So is it light melee infantry or just light infantry in general? And I'm assuming it's classified as heavy cav. Yeah, heavy armor. Let's see, we got some of them now. They're already in Imperial Age, so we don't have to worry about leveling up or anything of that sort. Let's see now. Has 74 damage lance attack. Holy crap. Plus 8 versus light, and has a very high damage attack and same attack speed as regular heavy cavalry. So they do hit like a truck. They also are pretty healthy right now. We got the mini Hui Hui Pow now firing away. Looks like Yellow wants to play Mountain Blade Banner Lord with trebuchets on top of walls. We got a Royal Cannon now deployed on the field. And we start putting holes in these these forces. However, they do have Iron Clamps, reducing gunpowder damage by 20%. So maybe we better go for trebuchets. Never really compared the DPS of trebuchet to a cannon, especially when it has 20% damage resistance. I wonder if you try and counter barrage the cannon. Does splash the cannon a little bit there, but nothing too significant. This is not Age of Empires 2. And like I said beforehand, this does do bonus damage versus all light infantry. So that means it will be effective against spearmen, crossbowmen, and archers. The armor, they have absurdly high range armor and very little melee armor. So spearmen will still be effective versus them, probably still cost effective as well. Yellow's fortress now receiving some repairs. But the extra armor is very important, extra range armor. Arbalest placement does take out the heavy cavalry. We also have a severe number of elite spearmen. We got some orbital tiers not being queued on up with the French player. A little bit late, but let's go for it either way. Fanaticism not being researched. Templar Brothers, Commanderies, and Commandery units gain plus 10% damage from below 50% health. And the fortress has gone down. And I'm about to sneeze. Fortress being established there. Archer ship needs to get closer. Yep. This archer ship is still being very, very useful. It does get a range of it now. Archers push forward. Gold being obtained. Archers backing on off. Large number of heavy spearmen there. They have 8 melee or range armor and melee armor. Archers right now have 9 damage, so doing 1 damage per arrow against these heavy spearmen. Got now incendiary arrows, which will help them out, as well as crossbow turrets. Algonator not to go for elite archers. It's not going to make good use of it. Though it's approaching pop cap, so it could be warranted. Does put some holes in that palisade wall. Royal cannons push way forward. Oh, they're not royal cannons, just regular cannons. Good shot there. 6-side victory is being queued on up. Another trebuchet emplacement. Good damage there on the trebuchet. We do now have that ship going down to the Hui Pao emplacement. Villagers idle up here. Not too much gold left on some of these deposits. There's a decent amount of gold right there and there, so definitely need to get those. We do have now a decent number of Arbalest tiers now pulled on the field. And the keep has gone down. We still got a single Arbalest emplacement with its town center. Right now, the Knights Templars at 7 Pilgrims, which is a sniffing amount of gold income. With the plus 20% increase, it's probably close to 30, maybe 34. Howdy. Sorry, I just saw your YouTube comment. Spearmen push way forward, bit of brace there onto the heavy cavalry. That's I have no idea how to pronounce that. The Polish cavalry. Cannons push way forward, there's a good volley there. Takes out one of the trebuchets. Arbaletiers push way forward. Oh! I love how they sped up the animations. Now the Arbaletiers have a different animation. Though they have crossbow stirrups research, which should be the pull down animation. Guess not. I love how this expansion adjusted the crossbowman animations. Because now you can see it, and plus now these guys do some sort of hand crank while not put on the ground. Even though the research crossbow stirrups would suggest that it be put down his feet, and then use that to yank it up and all that sort. By the way, Arbaletiers do have a different animation than regular crossbowmen now. Or maybe been always different, just that it's sped up so now it can actually be viewed. Spearmen push way forward. The Polish cavalry getting ripped apart by the spearmen. Decent number of French horsemen advancing. He does not have royal bloodlines just yet, so nothing particularly special about them at the moment. Ooh, one of those trebuchets took a decent amount of damage. Not trebuchets, royal cannons. Oh, actually click on the counterweight trebuchet. You actually can click on it if you click on it just right. Royal Cannon does go down. Horseman now advancing. The armor tactics now being researched by the Knights Templar. And looks like Yellow does manage to punch through all the heavy units with his anti-heavy units. Who would have thought that anti-heavy units would be good against heavy units? And some of these villagers getting gunned down as well. Of course, he has to back up from the fortress. There's way too much here. There's fortress taking a bit of damage there. Royal Cannons now engaging the fortress. Not Royal Cannons, just cannons. I am curious about the guild hall though. I want to click on it. Currently collecting up gold. Does have nearly 1,000 in the bank. One force is going on down. All that blue really needs to do as well is push forward, engage, and intercept the pilgrims. Of course, the southern sacred site is still a possibility. This wave of pilgrims looks like it's going to be run down. Bit of damage around the cannon. Fortress about to go on down. We got the horsemen advance way forward. Number of villagers there. Got some heavy spearmen in intercept. There is a fortress back there to help let a bit of a keep for his villagers. Some of those villagers being hit there. Some gets in the capital. Heavy spearmen engaging. Some villagers are exposed up here, which may go down. More horsemen push right forward. Blue is able to break and contain, and now able to smash, hit multiple of these siege weapons. Yellow has a large number of siege weapons in the field. Going for another fortress as well. Villagers going down there. Right now, Yellow's down to 68 villagers. And the pilgrims heading down south. Right now, they're not sure that's the right gold deposit because this is a wounded pilgrim. But right now, they're going to drop off 120 with a 20% increase. So it's probably close to like 140 gold. $142. And does have 5 fortresses, so 7 pilgrims, each providing 140 gold, which is effectively 4 villagers. So still has a very good amount of gold income there. Ooh, good number of arbiteers went down. Does throw out some scouts. Some of those arbiteers do take some damage, but nowhere near to actually be killed off. When the Royal Cannons do go down, get barraged by the Master Trebuchet. Trebuchets being taken out by the Royal Cannons, and maybe vice versa as well. Arbiteers now push right forward, ripping apart these heavy spearmen. Royal Cannons push right forward. Takes out whatever siege weapon that was. I don't think it was a Trebuchet, I think it was a Springbolt. More heavy spearmen being deployed in the field. Horsemen trying to engage. At this point in time, regular spearmen probably be a better choice than heavy spearmen. Though he doesn't have a whole lot of food nor wood to support either. He's going for elite spearmen and veteran horseman research. The French horseman charging forward does engage the Maganel. Elite, okay, that was elite heavy spearmen, not the elite spearmen, or maybe I'm getting the two mixed up. I think I'm just getting the two mixed up. I think he would have gone for elite heavy spearman a long time ago. More horsemen push right forward. Fortress does take a shot there. Mangonels, or not Mangonels, trebuchets get a volley onto the cannon. Horsemen heading down south. Got some pilgrims here. Oh, wow, that spam bot is really broken now, which I'm perfectly fine with. Wait. There's a opening there. I was not paying attention. I was simply hitting the spam bot, and all of a sudden, I was like, wait, how did the horseman get across the gate? There is an opening right there. Right behind the tower. I did not realize that, nor did I think Yellow did. Spearmen push way forward. Many of these siege weapons going down. It's not look good for Yellow. Pilgrims have been accepted, but another round of Pilgrims push way forward. Arbiteers being employed in the field. More horsemen. Got some forward outposts there, just probably for a bit of spotting. Cannon does take a shot there. Fortress under fire and on fire. Horsemen trying to sneak around now to the villager farming line. Got a decent number of defensive fortresses here. He's still able to utilize the gold income from the pilgrims because they have the third sacred site. Mangonels push way forward. Horsemen advancing. Good number of spearmen. Heavy spearmen there. Other horsemen push way forward. While crossbow not necessarily a good counter to horsemen, they do at least hit hard to punch the armor reasonably. Mangonel does go down there. Horsemen trying to find another opportunity to engage these trebuchets. Trebuchet does go down there. More horsemen advancing. We may want to start eyeing for a trade route. But right now, she's probably running a little bit low on gold. No, actually, plenty of gold in the bank. The guild hall is probably easily stored. I want to click on the guild hall. 500 in the bank, so he has withdrawn from the guild hall recently. Horsemen trying to find another fleet to engage, but right now there's just a good number of heavy spearmen on the field. Looks like Yellow may break the contain that Blue is set on up. Nope, looks like Yellow is going to withdraw. This force is at nearly full health. Has over 10,000 health possible. Jeez. I didn't realize how much health can get, plus tremendous damage resistance, so it's effectively 12,000 health versus gunpowder. Fortress has gone down. Short 5 out of 10 landmarks, like if he was fighting against the Chinese. Well, in this case, it's higher than the Chinese can deploy on the field. And Yellow does back the game now. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I do need to use the restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I'm back. And also give me a moment to ban that spam bot. Oops, I hit Control B, not Control V. There we go, that's cleaned that up. And let's see if we can't find another replay. Here we go. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the right side is the Blue Knights Templar, we got Vortex. Spawn on the left side is the Cyan Chinese, we got Usafichi. Oh, I butchered that name well enough. And I don't think I actually cast some replay on this map. Wood's a little bit sparse, but some decent piles. We also got pretty large deer deposits. We do have a small and large next to each other, so that is 10 deer. Over here we got two large deer deposits next to a small one. That's what, 17 deer? Blue has got almost all of his deer spawned down here. Two small, two larges. Small here, and a large one up here as well as Pumbaa. On top of the mountainside. So this map has a lot of natural food, but wood is actually pretty sparse. So civilizations can more utilize gold. It's probably be a little bit better. Wait, trade post. There is oh, there's a trade post there. Let's see. So I'm thinking it's gonna be some professional scouts deployed on the field. Hard to say exactly. Imperial Academy now going on up. In blue? Wait. Why does blue have so much lumberjacks? Oh yeah, aging. No? Ah, queued up French. That's what's going on. Got quite a bit of gold and stone and wood being collected up. Looks like it's going for our town center. Maybe fast songs in the city. We're going to see some Imperial officials deployed in the field. That is a good number of sheeple. I think Cyan got a pretty good haul with the sheep. Yeah, I think Cyan overall got a really good haul with the sheep. And we can find some more. We can see about, what, 20 sheep there? We don't see too many sheep here by blue. They're just heading down to the food deposits as well. Professional scouts not being researched by the Chinese player. They may hold off on Song Dynasty. Of course, secondary towns do not. Wait a second. Okay, there's two secret sites in the corners. Like I just had to. I didn't see the secret sites at first on this map. Of course, additional town centers do not provide more pilgrims, or don't believe so. Don't see the research there, so probably not, nor the pilgrim destination. Cyan's picking up a lot of venison there. We do have a single blue scout to spot a lot of this. Cyan has gotten for 7 scouts. This scout could just start pursuing blue scout, win the duel. And this Cyan scout could also help him out as well. Just try quickly double team. Vatican Sun going on up. Also pick up that deer deposit as well. Very defensive Vatican Sun, not being aggressive with it.
的漂亮。
No spearman being put on field just yet. There's a Chevalier. Drops a venison there. Chevaliers do have one less armor than normal heavy cavalry, which means Chinese Zunchus could be decent. They inherently have 4 damage, so they will get 6 damage per volley against them, which would be better than archers. Hakuna Matata has been disturbed. And there goes Pumbaa.
正在遭受攻击。
应变。
师姐，您好。
Venison still being brought back home. Pilgrim getting bitten by the wolves. Chinese players also going for a bit of stone here, so he's eyeing for a secondary talent center himself. I'm not sure exactly where though. More Chevaliers being put on the field. Sign does have a handful of spearmen. 3 deer there. We still got this large amount of deer. 7 deer remains. Local doggo will be put down. We got now double pilgrim formed by blue. More spearmen being pulled in the field. Good hit there on that scout. And these guys are moving around. Scout does not go down there. More wolf bites. Chevaliers heading up north. It looks like Science also picking up some of this venison and has some sheeple there. Double town center right next to each other. Third town center here pulled out by Cyan. Before, that is at Song Dynasty as well. So this would be 3 3/4 villager queue. So he's going to be skyrocketing villagers. Right now he has 2.5, which is 1/2 more than blues. And think as well, killing off that scout will get him some sheep. Chevaliers pushing down south. Got some archers here as well. A lot of taxes inside the mill. There's going to be a lot of taxes there. He's just mass calculating on up. He looks like he's going to save up resources for an age up. Some lancers wouldn't be half bad. Blue's pretty close to aging up as well. Republic Genoa, now being pulled field, will give him access to Genoese crossbowman, a elite crossbowman. I believe, not sure if it classifies heavy or not. It has, the Genoese crossbowman has a lot higher damage and health, if I remember correctly. Also, I'm curious what the other effects are. Chevaliers do fall back there. We've always got a decent amount of defensive arrows here. Also, pilgrims get plus 30% gold, so pilgrims will provide even more gold. Right now, they're providing 130, which is pretty good. Effectively 4 villagers worth of gold income. Going to fortresses as well. You did not need to age up to get a fortress out in the field. Oh, forward fortress as well. That's going to be next to Sacred Site. And a forward barracks there. Looks like Blue's going to try to close the game sooner rather than later. The Chinese player... Huh, wait, didn't he have enough resources to age up? What happened? No, looks like he's no longer eyeing to age up anytime soon. I could have sworn he was going to age up pretty quickly. Science also only down to 3 scouts. Imperial official there will go down. Zuchu is firing a volley, but with the higher armor possible this age, they can resist the Zuchu damage. They don't have +1 damage from moment spells, so they do 1 damage per bolt. Cavaliers charging way forward. Some of Science villagers may go down. Does have, of course, a now plus Hand Cannoneer Slip. Hand Cannoneer Slip's pretty cost effective. Science Force is getting ripped apart. Has no real counter to these heavy units on the field. Spearman is probably the best counter, but doesn't have too many of them on the field at the moment. Horseman raiding some villagers. Looks like Sign will hold on, but barely. Chevaliers may want to fall back to some monks get healed on up. And almost all that venison has already been eaten. The mill must be filled with gold at the moment, if I even click on it. One of the villagers do go down there. Archers take some damage there. There we go, the mill has over 1,000 gold in taxes. I don't think I've ever seen a mill or anything gets above 1,000, not even granaries. Villagers are going down here from these horsemen. Nice little pick here by Cyan. Couple trebuchets here. Astronomical clock down on the build queue. Town center now under fire. Going to the berries now. Those berries won't last very long. Mill has over 1,100 gold. Secondary town center about to get finished off. Can always go. Oh no! Trebuchet emplacement stage 4. Capital now under siege. Secondary town center will be burnt down. So Science down to 1 town center, but it is at 100 villages, which is probably perfectly fine. But right now, it has no farms or granaries. It's usually common for having 100 villagers. He already ate all that venison he obtained. There's still more venison down there, which he's just tasking villagers down here. There are 11 villagers, so maybe 2 outposts. It could be a possibility as well. Another fortress that being employed in the field. Capital now on fire. Arctic and Sun going under siege now. And this is also only, there's of course these 2 last landmarks if this one goes down. Dark and the Sun does go down. Got a good number of archers here. Taking out some of these siege weapons there. Got a number of Zunchnews here. Has not advanced, or has advanced XH. Has not gotten veteran Zunchnews. Dark and the Sun has been burnt down. Horsemen now engaging, getting some good damage. They are veteran horsemen at the moment, but got a good queue of Lancers on the build queue. Looks like all these light units will be cleaned on up. Got another Mangonel deployed on the field. Horsemen not eyeing to take it out. There's still some deer carcasses there, so the mill has over 1,000 gold there. You can always drop them off at the Imperial Academy as well. You don't have to drop off at town center. Who's now building another fortress. Deploying it over there as well. Making it a lot less realistic to pull out granaries. Pumbaa now being obtained. Village under fire. This will not put him pop cap, but will get him pretty close. And Science eating all this food has not had any time to transition to farms. Brother Templar are now deployed in the field. I am curious about the Genoese crossbowmen. Genoese crossbowmen, they do cost 80 food, 95 gold. And looks like they are still light infantry. It says effective versus melee infantry, so make it multipliers versus regular melee, all melee infantry rather than just heavy. Villagers being raided once again. Science doing a great job of raiding opponents' villagers, but there's still so many pilgrims. 5 pilgrims, each one providing 4 gold income. It's effectively providing 20 villagers worth of gold income. The number of lancers now deployed in the field. Blue does not have any crossbowmen on the field. Palace Guard now being deployed in the field as well. Lancers trying to take out the Mangonel. Keeps firing away as well. Sino has battery rams connecting with the keeps, or the fortresses. Mangonel does go down there. And these battery rams will destroy this keep. But also, that's a lot of wood investment here, which he really does need to get out granaries and farms. Because right now, Science running very low on food. Also, may need to get out some regular horsemen. Deal with all the archers and crossbowmen. Right now, Science is having trouble with food. Trebuchet is now cleaning up more of these fortresses. Lancers charge away forward, more Lancers charge away forward. Palace Guard in pushing forward as well. Lancers charging with forward, hitting the Brother Templar. We've got also a nest of bees. Clock Tower nest of bees now deployed in the field. Mangonel gets hits on these villagers. Villagers trying to prep the town center. These villagers are about to go down as well. Does take out the Mangonel. 3 villagers remaining, trying to recruit up the capital. Battery's making way over to that last fortress, and Blue is actually cleaning some of that venison there. See, Blue's now cleaning up some berries. We don't see any farms just yet, so using the food on the map. We now have greenery deployed on the field. He decided desperately didn't need that food income, but it's a little bit on the exposed side. Now got a massive round of palisade walls being established by Sign as well, trying to stabilize the region. Looks like Sign does have too many gold deposits. Needs to go for these two gold deposits up here. Has a bit of gold to work with. Nesby's push way forward. Gets him down these crossbowmen. Another fortress being established, as well as the rule of Templars. Good hits on those crossbowmen. Probably more spearmen needed. Brother Templar do close on the nest of bees. Lance is following back. Spearmen should just stay back and start hitting those Brother Templar. Got everything out that one there. Got a mill staff being established over here. Village getting paled. The village count has largely evened out. Might as well with the amount, just only three pilgrims on the build queue. Nothing too significant. So Science or Blue still slightly behind. And Cyan also has a very good amount of stone stored on up, and a good number of these villagers may go down. Spearman now trying to rotate around. Cyan still has a good number of battery rams on the field. Got some idle hunters there who needs to not be idle. Spearman trying to engage. Brother Templar gets a good charge attack there. Science now cleaning up this area. Trying to go for a keep here, trying to clean all the berries as well as the gold. Spearmen moving around. Got all these crossbowmen advancing. Those going down there. And this various blue infrastructure will be going on down. SBs get a bit of damage there. Good damage there. Does get a good volley there. SB is taking a bit of damage there. Good damage from those forces. That Nesby does go down. Nesby does go down there. Now, Sign does not have any food being collected up there, but does have some villagers migrating to the berry bushes. I wonder. This mill still has 800 gold on it. That needs to be perhaps collected on up. There's actually a decent amount of gold taxes that can be collected. Sign's heavy cavalry trying to find the villagers, but his villagers are way down here. And fortunately, a whole bunch of nothing. A couple more Brother Templars now pulled in the field. Who's not going full fortress in the center of the map. Also, Brother Templar will clean up these Lancers. Now getting forces established up here, which also protect the sacred site as well as get some gold and improve the sacred site income. Villagers running out of berries. Another set of granary being established here. There's Blue's villagers, stone miners. Somehow, I think they came from up here. Science does a good way with battering rams. It'd be probably nice if you could send those along the flank. Traveliers engage some of these villagers. Nesbees does clean up a good number of those units. Villagers taking some damage there from the crossbowmen.
他应该会比我
Nice to get that unit there. Got these Brother Templars engaging. Villagers getting paled there. Wolf still getting bites on these villagers. They walk by. And Cyan's starting to lose a good number of villagers. Right now, Cyan does have less villagers than Blue. Not to mention, doesn't have the pilgrims. Right now, there's only 3 or 5 pilgrims on the field, which means 20 more villager income. Fortress now being built by Blue once again. Way down here. Onto the sacred site in general. Yeah, overall it's not looking good for Blue. He does have a good number of nested bees. 5 clock tower, 2 regulars. He overall needs War Spirit. He does have 29 on the field, but Paul just needs more. That is a pretty good siege force. If you try to force down these battery rams, nested bees push forward. But a good idea of does not get a fall onto those villagers. Batteries now push way forward. We got these archers and crossbow push way forward. Nesbees getting surrounded by all sides, but Spearmen engaging all sides. Some Nesbees are going down. Brother Templar, I think, will be cleaned up by the Spearmen. Nesbees gets a good volley there on all those range units. Yet the Spearmen will win out. Good volley there, takes out whole formation. Brother Templar ignoring the Spearmen, not going straight for the nested bees. All the Nesbees have gone down, all the Brother Templar goes down, most of these ranges go down, so everybody loses everything. Battery rounds do take up the fortress there, go for King of Poland, he's aging up. Poland will add in a unique heavy cavalry that hits really hard. Poland also increases what? Charge damage? Yep, increases charge damage and health. More SVs in the build queue. Great damage there on those villagers. We're trying to repair up the mining camp there, but took a lot of friendly damage there. He was just trying to drop off gold, but instead got some repairs. We've got a monastery here with 4 relics right here. And we do also have this fortress still here. Brother Templar archery forward, but they're getting ripped apart by the keep. Spearman not advancing, getting some good hits there onto the Brother Templar. A good number of archers still here. This Polish heavy cavalry does also do +8 versus light infantry, so they do bonus in versus spearmen. They have no inherent armor, so spearmen do good damage against them. Additionally, this does reduce attack speed of opponent units, and when they hit any sort of units, so we'll help fight against the spearmen and sign us back to the game now. This is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the replay, I need to grab a drink. I'm starting to get a little bit. My nose is starting to run. My apologies, I'm back. Now let's go ahead and find another player. Let's see now. 23 minutes, also the mirror matchup. 13's too short. 14, 13, 15, 21, 12, 17, 11, and here we go, 34. Greetings everyone, and great here from another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on top left side as the Red Mongols, we got 1 Puppy Paw. Spawn on bottom right side as the Cyan Order of the Dragons, we have Beastie. Post here. And it looks like Cyan is eyeing for a Spearman rush. This is the Order of the Dragon player. Red, of course, can counter out with Spearmen and ×2 Spearmen. Ovo has been established way down there. Now Village is going to be building out 8 barracks over here as well. So it's going to be Spearmen versus Gilded Spearmen. Spearmen heading over here. Two Gilded Spearmen there. The Khan has a good number of sheeple there. Sign doesn't have too many sheep at the moment. Does have a handful there. So the Khan Paul just drop off the sheep and then push forward. He is running low on sheep here. Spearman pushing the way forward. We do now have the gear being pushed over. Just trying to find sheeple. And eventually it goes to the gear deposit. We got another ×2 spearman on the build queue. Sign does have 3 gilded spearmen on the field, going for a 4th one. I think Red is assuming his opponent's gilded spearmen are over there. I'm not sure what he's doing with these gilded spearmen. Not enough stone for another ×2 spearman. Going for a regular spearman. 5 spearmen may be adequate enough. Oh, comes out of positioning at that point in time. Deer Stone now being aged up. We'll have access to Khan's Hunters and Yam Network. At least infantry Yam Network. Bearded Spearman do take a bit of a volley there. Red Spearman's trying to engage. If he gets the age up, he will have Hardened Spear, which will improve the damage, I believe. Just improves the health, right? The Khan's killing off a deer. Oh dear. Another ×2 Spearman there. He needs to just get a little bit of gold going so he gets the Hardened Spearman research. Now it's being employed in the field. Or being employed in the field. And Menrock Palace now being established. Deer Stone almost complete. 9 spearmen now on the field. Oh, Menrock Palace gets cancelled. Going for the Akin Chapel now. No, he does. There's the Hardened Spearman research. And now the Khan does able to fire while moving. And her Whistling Arrow ability, the maneuver arrow, is probably available relatively soon. We do not have archer range there. Could be meant for, well, a lot of things. Would be archers, Khan's Hunters, Magudai. Akin Chapel is not right now being employed next to the Golden Wood. Nice Scouting Falcon there, prevented the Khan from being picked off. And there's a movement arrow there. Hardened Spearman engaging the Gilded Spearman. Does back away from the town center. Doesn't want to receive the defensive arrow fire. Start to touch down this gold mine. Does have a bit of gold going, so maybe some gilded spearmen or some gilded horsemen would be half bad. Not gilded spearmen, gilded man-at-arms. Early gilded man-at-arms. Now do have another scouting falcon pull in the field. Mercenary repair onto the mining camp to stall out the spearmen. Oh, and the Khan wasn't paying attention. As the village was backing out off, the attack order allowed the Khan to pursue it, which is not a good thing. We do now have the mining camp on fire. Town range is here, so it could probably start torching down the Akin Chapel if you so choose, but it will be a little bit difficult at 5,000 health. Got some forums being established here. More archers advancing, trying to help hit these dragon villagers. Looks like some of these spearmen are getting in range a little bit. One spearman does go down. Looks like they're pushing each other forward. Now do have a gilded archer and gilded early man-at-arms. Gilded spear engaging the villagers. Got some defensive archers trying to engage. So just playing, looks like playing Ring Around the Rosie. Of course, he's fighting some Mongols, which are actually inherently with the civilization that actually spread the Black Plague because of the courier and the advanced logistics networks of the Mongols at the time. Their whole horse and pony network for everything actually spread the Black Plague very quickly. Spearman taking some damage there. Gilded Man Arms pursuing. Not much you can do against these Gilded Man Arms. Sage does have a Keshik deployed on the field. Trying to pursue one of those villagers. Does shank the Keshik a little bit there. Does get some decent damage. Separate out now being put on the field. The gold landmark. Able to increase the gold drop off by 50%. More Gilded Spearman on the build queue. Blacksmith research also, blacksmith going on up. There's also a possibility that Magadai could be useful next age if he has a long age up advantage. After all, Magadai have good attack speed, low damage, good DPS, so armor really adversely impacts them. But gaining both a veteran and additional range damage upgrades could make them very useful. Plus, concepts can help increase their range. Veteran Keshik research now complete. This should be pretty effective. Though Gilded Spearmen do still hurt them pretty badly. Veteran Archer research on the way. We also got the Superior Mobility upgrade. Looks like last of this meat is being cleaned on up. Last of the sheep. Cleaning up some of the venison over here. We'll have access to boar or the venison down here. But may want I to get out some pastures. Villager does go down there. Keshiks moving around. Bulgarov Palace now queued on up. This will give him some good value. Got now these archers heading over here and falling back there, unable to get into range. Khan Hunter will also improve these archers' range by a little bit. Villager does go down to Pumbaa. Got a couple decent number of man-at-arms there, as well as some crossbowmen. More man-at-arms there. And prayer. Oh! So he's moving around the prayer tent and the shaman. Because the relics do stay inside the prayer tent, even packed on up. So he's going to be going around, pick up the relics, throw them inside of the prayer tent. This will be 3 out of 3. You can see this one's 2. Deposit, deposit. I just see it idle there. There we go. And now that prayer tent should be sent back. And then the shaman can go pick up relic, bring it back home until he gets another prayer tent up and going. You have a handful of archers, a handful of spearmen, and early man-at-arms. Some veteran upgrades going on up, like the veteran archer research, as well as a gilded crossbowman. +1 range damage on the way for the Mongol player. Does have a Khan's Hunter deployed in the field as well. Does back away.
Gute Leistung meinerseits. Zum Gewehr.
Gate has gone down. House going on up. Looks like the Mongol player's eyeing to collect some berries there, as well as Pumbaa. Needs probably... Oh, does have gear there. I wonder if these are villagers trying to collect the wood, or... No, they're trying to collect the... You meant to collect the venison, not the wood there. They built the gear and they auto-collected the wood. Because when you build gears, it automatically tries to collect the wood rather than food. Since it's also a drop-off for all resources, it does make them here a little bit buggy. There we go. Now they're picking up venison. Calling up some Keshiks there. These forces move around with a Khan's Hunter. Khan's Hunter also acts as a scout, able to see through a forest. Has acts as a scouting falcon. Now we do have the siege workshop being established here. Right now he does have 70... Oh, Cognate Palace. I do like the Cognate Palace. He's going to mass build it. It provides a really good amount of value. Oh, that's what I heard. I think I hear the oval being placed down. I was like, I hear another landmark being placed. But nope, just the ovo, which also mimics landmarks. Makes me wonder in the original version, like if you ever look at the game files, the what's it called? The Kurultai tent is actually supposed to be an H2 landmark, or an H3 landmark. And the Deer Silver Tree was supposed to be H3. Ovo's taking some damage there. Ovo gets picked on off. We've got these outposts here, which is providing Yam network. The first deployment is a Hui Hui Pal. So it gets a powerful trebuchet, which may not be super great at this moment in time. Mongol man-arms push way forward. Got a good number of archers back here, as well as some Mongol crossbowmen. Khan's Hunter needs to back off a little bit there, but these guys do have pretty good range. Khan's Hunter does go down, so no one has an increased range benefit, but luckily melee units like to get nice and close for you. Wait, that's not a great thing. We do see Dragon Scaled armor, so these guys have +5 armor, so these guys are doing 4 damage per arrow. Hui Hui Pao firing away. The most powerful trebuchet variant has 18 range as well. Next deployment from the Khan Palace is a group of elite Magidai, and next following that is more Magidai, which also does provide what, 1 or 2 Khan's hunters. They'll say it's 2 Khan's hunters. He immediately sent one to his arch force to let the other go around with the Magidai. He's going to go raiding with these units. These are elite ones rather than Verdant Age or feudal age ones. Gilded Man are getting some good damage there. Magidai right now have 10 damage, these elite ones, so they will do some decent damage versus the Gilded Man arms. Khan back here. The Khan in this age does also have 24 base damage, so the Khan has pretty good damage right now. Speed arrow there. It does go down. Oh, that was defense arrow, not speed arrow. More forces over there. We got another round of elite Magidai put in the field, and next round is Russian Knights or Rus Knights, which they will have pole axes and Boyar's Fortitude. So the Mongol will get some really nice Rus Knights from that. In fact, with their improved biology, they get even better knights than the Rus in very small, limited, random quantities. And Cannoneer deployed on the field, very nice. Magidai charging forward right into the fire of everything. A number of Khan's hunters there. Khan's hunters do also buff these hand cannoneers. They have 5 tile range. Not as good as Chinese hand cannoneers, but pretty good. They have nearly 5.75 tile move, range as well, so they will stick behind the hand cannoneers. House of Swabia queued on up for the Order of the Dragon player. We got a handful of pastures being established. He is going to go for the Monistic Shrine. Oh, they changed the upgrade. Rather than being an industrial smokestack, it's now a thingy. Yeah, Monistic Shrine just looked like a smokestack, like something from the industrial area. Now the Orchard has aged on up. We do now have the Verdant Magidai. This is going to eye from Magidai. Shaman being slashed apart there. Rus Knights backing on off. You can see here they have the pole axes. And you see plus 25 health from Boyar's Fortitude. That was lose one of the Rus Knights. Kondak Palace next providing Chinese Elite Palace Guard. I don't know if they have Battle Harden. I think they do have Battle Harden, which makes a pretty nice unit to have along with your force. And since the Mongol player also got a Hui Hui Pao, he has a very effective siege weapon. A very long-range siege weapon, in fact. So he's able to sit back even farther away. I'm pretty sure it is still affected by geometry if you want to get more damage onto it. It is pretty slow, though. And does have a longer deploy time. Hui Hui Pao sets ablaze the outpost. Could use Mercy Repair onto it. He is. Hui Hui Pao only has 2 population costs. Is that better than normal trebuchets? Do we see a Siege Workshop here to reference? Don't see any. What the heck? Oh, I don't know why I thought they were shooting at this outpost. What's remaining of it. Surprising enough, it's actually standing quite tall for it being actually just gone. Rus Knights charging way forward. There's a good charge attack there. Got a number of spearmen deploying the field. Next deployment from the Kondak Palace is the Nest of Bees. A very nice little support weapon in this situation. Palace Guard pursuing the Gilded Archers. Hui Pao almost destroys the Palace Swabia, can use emergency repairs, and would make a full repair, or full use of the repairs. Magadai gains some damage there onto that set of infantry, constantly firing away. I think the Magadai should split off formation and try to rake some villager lines. Magadai are best used against villagers. Got a number of spring dolls there, with a good number to engage a good number of spearmen. Oswald is still taking some damage there. Archers firing away. Good archers are slowly going down. Hand cannoneers picking off the rest of those units. And as well, archers do bonus damage versus gunpowder. So the hand cannoneers will be ripped apart. Now got some Rus horse archers. They can activate Gallop, get +2 range. They probably should. Right now they have 7 tile range, thanks to nearby Collins Hunter. Next thing from the Cognate Palace is Elite Magadai. Emergency repairs available in 4, but the emergency repairs from the villagers is going to keep it alive until that point. You may just keep the emergency repair ability in case he actually needs it. Here comes the Magadai and Collins Hunters. Next up on the Cognate Palace is a nest of bees. I wonder what research he's gotten so far. Let's see, Ovo here. Nothing around the Ovo. Looks like pretty much nothing around there. There's and when it comes to other research, he's not on silk bowstrings, which could be pretty nice. And does find an opportunity to engage all these villagers. Oswalder takes some damage. Rus Knights being pulled in the field. Horsemen push forward. More Rus Knights on the build queue for the Cognate Palace. We do have the Palace of Swabia taking more and more damage. Got Monolithic Shrines being queued on up. And going for more pastures. This will increase effectiveness of these pastures by 33%. Right now the Mongol player is actually very low on food, so she needs to get a lot of pastures. Right now the Mongols' issue is, of course, the food. Nest Bees fires there. Palace of Swabia has mercy repairs onto it. Nest Bees has gone down. Here comes Magadai, come from a flank. Horsemen trying to get onto all the range units. Horse archers do have Gallop activated. I think all these Magadai are from the Cognate Palace. Now he's building Magadai and rolls ×2 Magadai. Bit of conflict there. Palace of Swabia is still receiving fire. He really needs to roll another Hui Pao. I think a second Hui Pao would have been very useful. I don't know if he's rolling lucky or unlucky at this point in time. Most of the time, it feels like you get too many Hui Paos. But in this case, I don't think he's been getting enough of them. Separate Out has him redeployed somewhere. This gold clause has not much gold left. Speed area there activated by the Khan. No Khan's Hunters there to improve their range. Swabia has Silver Seams repairs. Getting another nest of bees from the Cognate Palace. So it only has one Hui Pao.
Eine gut gemachte Arbeit. Ja, bin bereit für die nächste Aufgabe. nötig von mir.
Keep now going on up.
Gute Arbeit. Schöner Bau.
Look at this army. There's 3 lines. The Cognac Palace is providing a really large amount of different units. And somehow the elite Magadai are... Oh, the free ones are from the Cognac Palace are in that area. And look at all those villager deaths. Nice little pick there.
Bereit für die nächste Aufgabe.
I just noticed that the... There's just 3 lines of stuff. That's a lot of stuff there. Now the Palace Wall will take some damage there.
Schüsse haben Wunder. Nice Schüsse.
Incendiary Arrow now being researched by the Order of Dragon player. He's built out 2 bombards here because he's not been getting any Hui Hui Pals.
Wer das ist der Rost.
The Order of Dragon does have a very good number of villagers. May as well add 25%, so he's effectively have 125 villagers for just 80. But may as well, the Cognac Palace effectively provides 800 resources per minute in direct unit fabrication of good units. So it's hard to calculate that. Potentially it's worth 20 villagers. If my offhand math is incorrect, you just assume every villager provides 40 income. Looks like some of these gilded villagers may go down. These use no speed arrows available. No exiles have been researched. Red's not paying close enough attention. Could have got more kills there. Oh, wasn't paying attention over here myself. Looks like a horseman pushing forward. Got some various units for both sides. SVs does get a bit of volley there. Units trying to fall back there. The Mongol player is doing quite good. The villagers trying to go on down. Horsemen now advancing. And backwards. Rus horsemen, or Mongol horsemen and Rus knights is not uncommon. Is a pretty uncommon composition, but it's one that is existing thanks to Cognac Palace. Another round of horse archers on the build queue for the Cognac Palace. Bombard hitting the keep now. Hui Hui Pao as well. I'm really so surprised the Mongol player only got 1 Hui Hui Pao. Usually by now we see 4, if not 6. Springald's firing away. Spearmen getting ripped apart by the Magadai. It's one of the few situations where Magadai do quite well. The Gilded Archers do, of course, have good range armor, so they can resist the Magadai damage. But when you get the Shiro Bolems and improved Shiro Bolems, they become very good. It's in the late game where Magadai actually become very useful. Plus, one thing you can do with Magadai as well as big conflict, just have them charge towards your opponent's villagers and just have them rake the farming line and the trade line. Keep has gone down. Mercy Repair is not available another 11 seconds. No landmarks have gone, or nope, just this one landmark has gone down. The other 3 are back here. Nice line. Now he finally got a second Hui Hui Pao. Nessa B on the build queue, and with the number of Gilded Archers in the field, Nessa Bs will be very useful. Only 3 Khans Hunters at the moment. Cancanir does take a bit of damage. But you do some of those spearmen. Magadai pursuing, horsemen and knights advancing onto these gilded archers. Magadai should start raking the villagers. But the horsemen, yep, looks like they're going to start raking the villagers. The horse archers can support out the advance because they can't move and shoot even with Gallop enabled. And Sign does back the game now. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I have time for one more replay tonight, but I need to use the restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I'm back. Let's see if he has any more replays. Maybe not. That's one I just did. Last are custom. Best avoid the custom since I have trouble downloading custom maps. Let's see now. Right now my nose is starting to run. That's why I think I only have time for one more replay. Because I feel like we'll get a bit of a coughing fit. We can do this one. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Empires 4 replays. On bottom left side is the red French, we've got L, Louis, MT. On top right side is the blue House of Lancaster, we got David Kim, who's immediately going for a barracks. So we got a spearman rush by the House of Lancaster. Can't go with a Billman upgrade, not like that's important right now. So, Spearman Rush by the House of Lancaster. I'm not sure how those will go. Red spots a Spearman, so he has to start bracing for a counter. He has a mill here. Going for an early wheelbarrow. Either way, blue rolled unlucky. Does not go towards the gold deposit. If that matters or not, it's simply what the case is right now. Spearman here. Spearman does take some shots there from town center. Could take time to shank those villagers. Does get a nice charge attack there, which increases range. And Reg is going to ignore the Spearman for now. This guy should probably just fall back to the town center. Does. Now this lady's getting stabbed. And there's enough gold to age up. More Spearmen being pulled up by blue. Probably will see the Skull Cavalry. Even now, the Chamber of Commerce is not going to be usable. Skull Cavalry now being employed on the field. That was a neutral sheep, so the neutral sheep does get killed off. You monster. It's use villagers to gather food from the four helpless sheep. You monster. There's your monster tag. It has to be a live sheep. Lancaster Castle is now being built with 3 villagers. More sheeple being brought back home, or at least their new home. People's stomachs. That's their new home. School Cavalry is now complete. A Lancaster Castle. So being plotted view, it cannot store villagers and has a basically a single arrow. It's effectively a very glorified outpost. Now the Barbarian does have, of course, some buttons bring in some spawns of units. Scout heading up here and makes its way all the way up here. No professional scouts research. And Blue's taking time to herd all these deer back to his town center, a long-range herd. Manor now going on up. Scout taking some damage, but remember this castle, like I said, is a glorified outpost. It has only a single arrow. Red's not going for professional scouts. Archer here. Not a scout. Red scout does take some fire from these spearmen. Ardent Spearmen on the way for the House of Lancaster. They do have a unique research available to them for the House of Lancaster. Got the Billman upgrade. It gives them a bit of armor ripping, which makes them actually somewhat usable against heavy armored units such as Age 2 man arms in particular. So House of Lancaster does has a feasible unit against Age 2 man arms, which I generally consider the best unit in the game. Local doggo does go down. Special Scout almost complete by Red. Survival techniques being researched by Blue. No, I sort of forgot about the walking sound effect, how it has a different sound effect when walking. Because that's pretty much only used in campaigns. Now it can be used in multiplayer. The walking animation for horses cannot be used in multiplayer. Don't know if that means anything. It does to me. As a model maker for computers too, I like seeing things that don't usually get used. I appreciate the animations, even if it means absolutely nothing to everybody else. Blue Scout here does spot the double. Red Scout should give him an idea that his opponent has gone for professional scouts. We got multiple manors now being established. This may be the Catholic manors. This is apartment manor limit reached. I'm going to take time swap out to blue, so get a better idea on the manor cap. Because now we see the 3 out of 3. King's College now being researched by the House of Lancaster, which gives up, what, 5 or 6 unique technologies and makes all technologies reduced by 50%. These unique technologies are exclusive to King's College. Also, so Lancaster can't normally access these technologies. Unique technologies are trained in rugged terrain, increases hull bar, that's their unique horseman variant, increases their charge damage by 100 plus 150%, and their push speed 100%. Hull bars are, of course, the cheap cavalry variant, so they're just weaker but cheaper cavalry. They're pretty nice. It makes them a bit more useful as a counter unit. He's going to be researching the Collar of S. Your knights and demi-lancers adorn their armor with Lancaster livery, gains plus 6 bonus damage when attacking enemy armored units, making it a bit more effective versus heavy units. And plus 6 damage is quite a bit, but do know it affects their knight and their unique heavy cavalry unit, which is really not a good cavalry unit. You can get them in H2 with House Castle Lancaster summon, and they are pretty bad. Like, they're a heavy cavalry that's basically as strong as horsemen. There must be some gimmick I'm not really aware of. Does take some losses there. Other ones is Burgundian Imports, gives you early hand cannoneers, and makes them have a 25% cost reduction. So, like Streltsy, they basically become a Streltsy variant without the added benefits. Increase your troops overall improvement bonus by 20%, so they're more effective what they're good against. And of course, we got something for ships, which should be particularly useful in this map. After all, this map is a valley, and at the center of all valleys is a river, so it should be particularly useful. We got a good number of Lancaster Knights now deployed in the field. They're right now completely and utterly ordinary, though they do have plus 6 versus heavy. Should be pretty useful against these Royal Knights. Plus 6 versus heavy, that's actually pretty good. Beforehand, Rus Knights I generally consider some of the best knights in the game, having access to Boyar's Fortitude and Poleaxes. Just that the Rus economy doesn't really support knight production, especially when you have cheaper Streltsy as a much more cost-effective option. More manors can now be brought on in. He can now build up to 6. I'll still say Rus Knights are still pretty good, and probably still the best in the game. These plus 6 versus heavy makes these knights particularly useful, since the it just gives them a bit more range where they can successfully engage. So other heavy calves, so they are not on equal footing. And of course, able to hit man-arms quicker is always nice to have. They still have to be careful about spearmen, and crossbow and still be a bit more of a mixed bag all about on positioning. But it gives them more, they will win the stalemates against heavy cav. These Royal Knights have taken some damage there. He does not have Chivalry Research. Probably should get Chivalry Research now to get those guys healing on up. This Royal Knight is getting double teamed. Scout will go down. Oh, that Royal Knight will go down at the current rate. Monk here. Does connect there a little bit. Takes out that one Royal Knight there before going down with both of them. Couldn't take out this guy in time. Now we've got Chivalry being researched by the French. Ooh, good hits there by these spearmen. Nice heading down south. We do have, looks like the monks going down. We do have a single outpost there, 9 villagers. Got the Billman research now being, well, researched. Royal Knight does not take out those villagers. Scout does go down. And looks like these Royal Knights taking severe damage. We got some Arbiteers not being on the build queue. Very nice. Arbiteers can be very useful against the Spearmen as well, with Gamberson getting +5 melee armor. Horseman still alive. Can easily go down. Yep. Spearman navigation. These... oh, whoops. I forgot the fact that Billmen. Okay, Arbiteers will not be particularly useful against the Arbiteers because they can rip apart the armor. But it will take a bit of time for that. You know, maybe they'll still be generally fine. Just won't be as good. So the Billman upgrade is actually going to be useful against Arbiteers, of all things. That's interesting. Spearman does go down. Horseman does go down there. Got the Spearman being cleaned up by the Arbiteers. We now have the Veteran Hoblar, or how to pronounce it. The unique light cavalry. You know how the hill training there as well, increase the production speed of Hoblar, and as well as give them improved charge damage. Overall, most of the time, horsemen don't have any charge damage, just a charge animation. But in this case, now the Hoblars will actually have a bit of charge damage. Let me see if I can't click on one. If I can find one. There's one. So it does have a 22 damage charge attack, which also does do plus 22 damage against range and siege as well. So a pretty decent charge attack there. They still retain the high range armor as horsemen, so they're just more useful as a counter unit. Just cheaper. They cost a very cheap 90 resources. They're just effectively a cheap horseman with some upgrades now. Pumbaa being obtained by blue now. Spearman taking bad damage there. Trying to get some hits on these villagers. Veteran Royal Knight being pursued by the Hoblars. Huh. They feel a bit more faster. They have the same movement speed as horsemen. I wonder if, since they use a sword attack, the sword attack seems a little bit more responsive than the spear. Maybe because they have a shorter wind up and wind down animation, so they maybe actually have a slightly higher attack speed. Not sure. Something just seems a little bit different about the Hoblars overall with their short swords. But they're written for the Arbaleteers, that's for sure. Spearmen engage as well. Of course, those spearmen on small numbers, so they will be taken out. Archers and crossbowmen here, which Hoblars are supposed to be counter them, but these guys here are everything's here in large numbers against the Hoblars. They're still doing decently well.
This is a nickel Come a mid-bay, wreckers.
Outpost not going on down, or is going on down. We do have a secondary townsman now pulled up by red. Blue still only has one. Has a 23 villager advantage. We've got a keep here, which can pacify the cost reduction aura as well. Villager takes some damage there, but the keep course will take it out. Take out that assault. Got some Royal Knights now charging on it to hit those Hoblars. Got the red palace not being salvaged by the French player. While this is off the beaten path, it will protect both of these gold deposits, so he's trying to do that just to make sure those gold deposits stay nice and secure. Billman will go down there. The Hoblars will fall back. Red Palace now established on the field, which also means he has a couple arbalists in placement here. Villager does go down. House of Lancaster is pretty close to aging up as well. I have seen only the Warrenguard Palace right now from the House of Lancaster. I'm curious, the other one's probably still the Berkshire Palace. Guess we'll find out soon enough. And I don't think we've actually seen any of the musters. So all those available. He has 8 out of 9 manors on the field as well. Going with the Berkshire Palace. Not sure where. Oh, back here. Ultra defensive Berkshire Palace. Increases the maximum damage granted by a house unified to +6. So the house unified. What's house unified? I'm assuming that's the extra damage from these arrows. No, it's not. So what's house unified? Lancers or Knights do fall back, Royal Knights. Increases the maximum damage granted by House Unified to +6. What's House Unified? Am I going crazy? I don't remember that research. This is synchronized shot. Going for the veteran yeoman upgrade. Yeah, I'm not sure what House Unified is. This aura effect is not classified. This aura effect is Lancaster Castle. Manor income. Yeah, I don't know what House Unified is. It's probably some sort of research I'm just not aware of off the top of my head. We have more Yeoman being deployed. He also has some Earl's Guards from deploying out the Berkshire Palace. Hoblars push their way forward. Some exposed villagers here, but the Red Palace will report everything here, assuming it gets in the garrison. Does lose some of these units here at the Berkshire Palace. Takes out some outposts there, but loses a good number of those guys. We've got now the Royal Knights ready to go for a big charge into the Hoblars. Got the Elite Yeoman Research, as well as a synchronized shot ability. No, that's military training tactics, which improves the bonus damage. Which, in theory, right now, his Knights have +6 damage for his heavy, so that would improve his bonus damage to +7. Of course, he's not going for any more Knights. He could opt for the Musters, then go for the Demi Lancers here. This will give him good note Demi Lancers, which has additional bonus damage versus heavy. More Yeoman, and this will give him a mix of everything. Villagers being pursued by the Royal Knights. We have these forces moving around. Elite Spearman Research now on the way. We do have the Elite Royal Knight. No Royal Bloodlines just yet. We do not have the Elite Hoblar Research, and as well as Incendiary Arrows. This is going to go quite heavy in the Elite Yeomans. Got a good number of archers here. Elite Archers by the French. Also got to go for Incendiary Arrows onto them. Going for Biology for the Elite Royal Bloodlines. Royal Knights falling on back. These Royal Knights will be pinned. They're completely surrounded now. And these Royal Knights don't charge forward. There's way too many Spearmen now hitting those guys. Nice little pick there. Added jack increases Yeoman Spearman's jackets, improving the melee armor by 3, which is quite significant. So vulnerable to archers. And right now, got quite a bit of a lack of gold for this force right here. He has some Earl's Guards mixed on in. Let's see if we can't click on any. There's one. Does, of course, have the dagger throw ability and has 4/4 armor. It's only a Castle Age. Although it's a man at arms with a dagger throw, and I think slightly higher stats. Can't really say off the top of my head. Gets +1 max damage per maximum key. Oh, House Unified. That's where it is. So it's buffs the Earl's Guard. Got it. I really never see Earl's Guard. I think people like the Yeoman and the Hoblars and the Billmans. Right now, the French player Paul needs to get out some spring golds. Royal Knights being engaged by these Hoblars. Right now, even just some man-at-arms wouldn't be half bad. Senior Arrow is now being researched by Red. Got a monster here with 3 relics. Of course, we do have the Arbalest emplacement in here on the town center, so it has good defensive capabilities. Fordice trying to go for a charge into the Spearman. Does destroy the monastery, setting free the relics. Getting some good damage there. Royal Knights backing off. Can't be going to engage those spearmen. The French archers should be particularly useful at the moment. He has a good number of Royal Knights and archers in the build queue. While his opponent's going for more spearmen and yeomen. Got some knights pushing along the flank with some archer support. Right now, no elite arbiters, only 2 arbiters in the field. Silk bowstring on the Reef build queue for red. Yeomans have inherently 6 range, no silk bowstring from them yet either. More archers push way forward. And we got another monster on the field, and the monks are picking up the relics now. Royal Knights trying to move around the flank. Looks like Blue's force is largely being cleaned on up. Blue has an army of 110 on the field, forces more of the not gold intensive units. Them cost 90, Hoblars cost 90 and a little bit of gold, and Spearmen cost 80. So it's a cheap force versus the high quality Royal Knights cost 240, and of course archers costing 80. Yeoman's get a good volley there. There's a synchronized shot, but overall looks like a pretty sizable miss. Royal Knights pursuing the Yeoman. Archers in back line, just firing away against anything. Royal Knights advancing, so he's going to take some Royal Knight losses. And we'll pin down this armor, take it, wipe it down entirely. We got, of course, the keep here. Not a good number of Royal Knights to go down there. Surely can help heal up the rest of these guys here, which I'm assuming is researched. Not counted Saddles. Probably can go for list incentives. Got a French cannon on the build queue. A pretty good synchronized shot there. French archers push way forward. Royal Knights trying to break their way through, hit those yeomen. Regular horsemen could also help out as well. Their increased move speed helping close the distance. Silk's bowstrings have been researched. They have 6.5 range versus just 6 range. And now we've got the Shire Levy. Give him a good number of yeomen. I wonder if they can go over Pop Cap. By the way, there should be, what, 17 yeomen? Oh, we got the Demi Lancers now deployed in the field. Let's see. There's the Demi Lancers. They offer 16 damage, which is not great for a melee attack. They do have the +7 versus heavy from that one research. They also do have decent land saves. Overall, they are not too particularly great, honestly. They're meant to be built by the Wormguard Palace. They get a handful of them from the Lancaster Castle. In like H2, they have like 8 damage, something really low. Not too many spearmen are actually on the field, so the does largely avoid it. Going for some stone walls there, but there's not too many spearmen, so red could punch forward over there. Royal Knights pushing over here, trying to engage the Demi Lancers and Hoblars. Though the Legomen are in very good numbers. Not much stone claimed here. Blue will not is heading up there. Going for a keep here. Blue's going for some walls here. I don't know if the keep will be built in time before its advance. Synchronized shot there. Good spot for the synchronized shot. But with this distraction here, the keep will be built. Does get tied up the outpost. May not. Does see the keep there. Lancers or knights heading towards these villagers. The keep has been cancelled. Red is falling back now. Red's also pushing to the center with archers and a cannon. Up north, we got more Royal Knights. House of Lancaster player has 95 yeomen. And still does have silk bowstring, so has 7.5 range. Gets a good volley there on those villagers. And the French archers are here in large enough numbers to protect everything else. Nice spear brace there. Of course, archers and everything else to clean up those spearmen. Now got the keep now deployed on the field, which does, of course, have a arbalist in place to help him out. We got the Royal Knights pushing over here, hitting these villagers. Of course, got the Berkshire Palace here, which does provide some good fire support. And great coverage for everything back here. You can delete some of these lumber camps, get more farms back there if you so choose. Red's trying to go for another keep up here. Gonna try and steal this gold deposit. But this mill will spot those villagers. Wonder if Blue actually realizes he spots it. That's another matter. Blue villagers there, which Red immediately smells blood in the water. Or there's no water. Even though it's a valley. Keep halfway built. I think the keep could be interrupted. Villagers on the both side to all these yeomen. Poor precision shot there. What? Blue may not have occlusion enabled. Maybe. Archers firing away over here. Horsemen torching down the manor, which is receiving for repairs. Berkshire Palace engaging. Castle Lancaster engaging. Of course, got a handful of these out. Manors also supporting as well. Which right now they're doing 11 damage per shot. Nothing too significant. Whoa! Saw a decent number of daggers. He's actually going for a handful of the Palace Guard. The dagger does do range damage. Burst too, so it does throw 2 daggers now? What? I need to take a better look at that animation. I rarely have been seeing these Earl's Guards. They've been mostly just here and there, nothing too significant. Horsemen trying to get to these archers. Of course, still got the red keep here, providing its damage output and the arbalist placement. Keep taking a significant amount of fire. Precision shot there, gets a pretty good volley on those archers. And Red still, I believe, should go for some mangonels. Because just fighting against mass yeomen, so a handful of Magnanos probably wouldn't be half bad. We do not have adjustable cross bar, so he is going for Mangonels. Yeoman's starting going down there, so Gnoa Yeoman's backline. Royal Knights going to now try to muscle the way through. Pretty good volley there, but Royal Knights are pretty healthy. Crossbowmen gotta be, or not crossbowmen, Arbiters may want to deploy them out in more limited numbers, though they can deploy out passes. But right now they only have 5 tower range. Even with passes active, they only have 6 tower range. Red's also trying for some stone walls. Got a decent number of stone walls deployed on out. Building more over here, still got an opening there. Could probably, yep, is eyeing for a decent number of traders. I wonder how many at the moment. 33. Royal Knights taking some damage there. And now got 5 Mangonels in the build queue. A little bit long overdue. Royal Cannon picks off one of the Yeomen. Red could try pursuing a Sacred victory as well. Of course, got the keep here firing away. Age 3 landmark was a guild hall, right? Right now has 800 gold stored on up. 2 Mangonels have been deployed in the field. Court Architects now on the way, as well as the lightweight beams. Culver and advance the way forward. Huh. The English get bombards right, not culverins. Am I wrong? Can't remember. Mangonels getting some splash damage there. We got a precision shot there, ripping apart the Mangonels. They did withstand the storm though. Good number of Earl's Guards push way forward. They are heavy units, so they can be hit by the Arbiter, no problem. Mangonels fire a decent volley there. Earl's Guard has gone down to the Arbiters. Red has a handful of walls trying to go on up there. Needs to perhaps finish these walls. Even with just some basic wooden walls wouldn't be half bad. Both players have decent stockpile of resources, similar amount. And of course, while the House of Lancaster is a English variant, it has no enclosure, so no gold income from the mill. So he has no infinite gold income. Whatever gold he has is all he gets. He has 2 relics, that's all of his infinite gold. Manors, of course, wait, no, Manors have... Oh. Wait, Manors have a age 4 resource to provide with gold income, doesn't it? I need to take a look at that. Royal Knights push way forward. Getting some decent damage there. Though the outrunning the Mangonels may not be good, but the Royal Knights gets good damage on in. We do have this. More of these Earl's Guards push way forward. Though they're being misrouted overall. Yet they throw both knights with one throw, no like double throw animation. Yeah, the manas do provide gold this age. 35 gold, so it's effectively less than a villager gold income. But with 9 of them, it's still a decent income. Good volley there. Red's falling back now. Right now, blue does have less civilians on the field, but allows them to forward more units in the field. Go for a larger, cheaper force. Pearl's God do cost the same as Man at Arms. We have very good number of Mangonels here. Blue's having trouble remassing, slow on food and wood. Alvin gets a good shot there. One Mangonel does go down. Our Knights push away forward. Good shot there. Bataram's now advancing. Gets advanced from the... what's it called? A couple of farms go on down. House of Lancaster doesn't get the cheaper farms. There's hardly little English in the House of Lancaster. The only thing that they share with English is the short bows, and that's pretty much it. The short village short bow actually probably should be more precise. Got the Berkshire Palace firing away. Castle Lancaster gets good damage. Got now the synchronized shot there on the Mangonels, or unsynchronized shot, I should say. Bataram slowly going down as well. Bataram has gone down. Trade is providing 88 gold per trip. That's not bad. It must be also mixed in with the commerce trade, because it probably adds 12 to that amount. Because that probably should be probably closer to 80. I can't say exactly for sure. We do now have the Burgundian imports, which reduce the cost of Hankaneers by 25%, but does cost 510 gold. So you really have to make use of that. It's something probably you should have gone for much earlier. Raise up forward. Yeoman gets good volley there. Mangonels in good numbers. Demi Lancers going to go on down. Or those Elite Knights. See a nice shot there. Gets good volley on those ranged forces. Yeoman firing away. Overall, Blue's getting stoned to death by the Mangonels. The King's College does go down, so you can no longer obtain the Ship of the Crown research. And Blue does back the game now. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay for tonight. My throat's just getting stuffed up. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, have a good evening.